It's just heartbreaking for those families.
Girl Scouts across Wisconsin are mourning the loss of 3 of their sisters killed as they picked up trash by a suspected intoxicated driver.
And it's neck and neck as we near the finish line of the race for governor. You'll hear from both candidates as they make their way across the state ahead of tomorrow's midterm elections.
This is News 3 at 6.
And it's almost here. The final 13 hours before Election Day 2018. Candidates running for office in Wisconsin are trying to win over undecided voters ahead of tomorrow's election and also get their base voters to the polls.
Both the Democratic and Republican candidates are holding rallies tonight, and we head out now to the Democratic rally in Madison where Tony Evers is speaking right now.
This time, I get to hand it to myself as governor, and we're going to give it to those great Democratic legislators, and we're going to fully fund our schools. Now, Mandela said it's too short of a time. We only have a couple hours to talk about Scott Walker a lot. But I just have to tell you, think about what's happened with him over the last couple weeks. He's had 4 of his top lieutenants, people that he vested, people that he vetted, people that were providing him advice and counsel, leading large state agencies. They're no longer with him. Unlike with President Trump, when his people leave, they go anonymous. These people say, this is what they say about our good governor. He lies, has no integrity. He puts his own political ambitions ahead of the people of Wisconsin. Think about that. And then they endorse me. How about that? How about that, Scott Walker? It's time for a change. Now, we just have to think about that, how that played out. Scott Walker ran for president.
Again, you just heard from Democratic candidate for governor Tony Evers at a rally for his party here in Madison. The Republicans are also spending the day campaigning.
News 3's chief political reporter Jessica Arp has been following their efforts today. Jessica?
Well, yeah, Republicans are preparing for a major rally of their own later tonight after a day of stopping at call centers and businesses, stumping for every vote they can find. State Senator Leah Vukmir making a late stop today at the La Crosse GOP field office, speaking to supporters there and asking them to bring friends and family members to the polls to help her in a race against Senator Tammy Baldwin. Governor Scott Walker was in La Crosse today as well, calling the Cooley region a swing area of that state that he and other Republicans are trying to win.
This is going to be a swing part of the election. It's really important in this part of the state to be here to get the message out, and it's a simple message. We've got more people working than ever before, more jobs and higher wages.
Tomorrow's a very important day, and everything that we have done here in this great state of Wisconsin and everything that our president is now doing for our country, it's all on the line. And that's why I'm here as a final push to ask for your help. I could go on and on.
But much of the focus of these candidates is going to be on getting as many of their base voters to the polls as possible. That's why you will find all of the major Republican candidates in Waukesha later tonight, one of the deepest red areas in this state, trying to get their base to the polls and get out the vote for them tomorrow, just like the Democrats are. We will have live coverage of that event, just like you saw there of Tony Evers, coming up tonight on News 3 at 10.
Jessica Arp in our news center. Jess, thanks.
Wisconsin has broken the state record for absentee ballots submitted during a midterm election. The state's Elections Commission says more than 547,000 absentee ballots have already been turned in. That is up from the record 4 years ago by more than 170,000 ballots. In a midterm election, overall turnout typically ranges from 50 to 55% of the voting age population, compared to 65 to 70% in a presidential election. Comparable pre-election numbers for absentee voting in 2014 are not available because clerks were not required to track absentee ballots online until 2016. Overall, though, in 2014, there were 374,294 absentee ballots counted out of 2.42 million votes casted, which is approximately 15% of turnout. If you plan to vote in person tomorrow, polls open at 7 a.m. and open until 8 p.m.
And don't let it stop you. But rain and gusty winds are prompting an Election Day alert day. Meteorologist Dana Fulton here with what you can expect tomorrow. Dana?
If you're heading out the door first thing in the morning, expect very similar conditions actually to what we're seeing right now. Rain moving through southern Wisconsin. No thunderstorms in the mix, but this is a current look at our Doppler track. In the last 3 hours, we've had these showers move right into southern Wisconsin, and we're going to continue to see showers through the next several hours and again into tomorrow morning. In fact, let's go ahead and jump right into what's going on. Yesterday, we had that system slide on through, giving us a bit of a break between these two systems today. Cloudy sky, but no showers. Now we have a line of showers driving through Iowa and Illinois and again into southern Wisconsin, and those showers are going to linger with us. Let's look into tomorrow. If you are heading to the polls early in the morning, would recommend having the umbrella or baseball cap on hand. Again, no thunderstorm threat for us, and we aren't expecting a washout, but we are going to have these showers throughout the early part of the morning. The good news later on in the day, just looking at clouds, a few isolated showers still lingering around noon, but later on the rain is wrapping up. We will take a closer look at the breakdown for the full work week ahead in just a few minutes.
All right, Dana, thank you. And there are some businesses and groups helping people get to the polls tomorrow. Uber will be offering $10 off rides to the polls. That means your ride could actually be free in some cases. Lyft has a similar program going on. Fitchburg Family Pharmacy also offering free rides to people on Election Day. You don't have to be a patient or a customer to get that ride either. Their number right there on your screen, 274-3784. Union Cab and Common Cause Wisconsin also offering a lift free of charge. Make News 3 your election night destination for the fastest numbers and best analysis. At 7 p.m. on WISC-TV 3, CBS News national coverage will begin, and we will break in with live local updates all night.
Starting at 8 p.m., you can watch continuous live, local, uninterrupted coverage on our digital platforms, Channel 3000, Facebook, and YouTube. At 9 p.m., our local coverage will be available on Fox 47. And at 10 p.m., join us on WISC-TV for election night coverage.
In other news, we're learning more about the driver involved in a deadly hit-and-run crash over the weekend. 21-year-old Colton True is accused of hitting and killing 3 Girl Scouts and a mother as they picked up trash. Another girl hurt remains in the hospital. Police say True had been huffing chemical vapors before that crash. Our Madeline O'Neill has more on how the local Girl Scouts organization is responding tonight, and one Jefferson County woman with a similar personal tragedy who says the crash fuels her fight against intoxicated driving.
A group of Girl Scouts wearing vests like this were cleaning up the side of a highway when an intoxicated driver hit them. For one Waterloo woman who cleans up this portion of Highway 89, the story hits home.
It's happened so often. It just makes my blood boil.
On the side of the 2-mile stretch of Highway 89 where Marla Hall picks up trash.
You know, like vodka bottles, brandy.
She can't help but reflect on a recent tragedy in a Wisconsin ditch much like this one.
Yeah, you would never,
The Chippewa Falls Girl Scouts who were hit and killed Saturday were working on a different highway.
just picking up trash.
But in many ways, Hall feels like their roads cross.
It's heartbreaking for those families. It makes me think of what I went in the beginning. He always was smiling. This is a really good picture of him.
This month marks 2 years since her 26-year-old son Clinton Hall,
This is him and I.
along with his girlfriend and colleague, were killed by a wrong-way drunk driver with 2 previous drunk driving offenses.
My son's future was taken away. These children, their parents, my future. You know, Clinton was my only child.
Hearing about the 4th graders killed by another impaired driver feels all too familiar.
Every time I see that, it just makes me want to fight harder.
Girl Scouts around the world are mourning the loss of their sisters. But the Girl Scouts of Wisconsin Badgerland's CEO is thankful for one of the skills taught to the troops.
How to be resilient, and it's really very rewarding and touching to know that we are part of this great big community that has wrapped their arms around us.
This adopted highway is in memory of Hall's son and his girlfriend Katie.
My son keeps me going.
She's pushing for stricter OWI laws in Wisconsin, hoping that no one has to go down the same road she and many others have had to again.
If this doesn't take Wisconsin doing something, I don't know what will.
In Waterloo,
How many times?
Madeline O'Neill, WISC News 3.
The Girl Scouts of Wisconsin Badgerland say they are working with the National Girl Scouts organization to figure out their next steps in supporting the Chippewa Falls troops. In the meantime, an independent GoFundMe page has been set up for that troop, and we have a link on our website, channel3000.com.
A fallen firefighter's legacy lives on.
How the Madison Fire Department is using the death of a firefighter to improve the wellness of his peers. That story is next at 6. Madison firefighter paramedic Richard Garner died unexpectedly in the line of duty after a shift about 7 months ago.
Today, fire officials said he died of a heart attack. Chris Lundberg was there as they answered questions about if his death was connected to department practices.
There's a ghost in Fire Station 10.
Rick was, he's a big guy, but he had an even bigger heart and a bigger personality.
Richard Garner lives on the walls here, months after his footsteps last rang through these halls.
All around a great guy, and we miss him dearly.
His attitude made this place a home for his coworkers.
He always put people first, no matter if you're on his crew, no matter if you're in a different station or you're just seeing him in passing in the public.
It was Easter Day when he left the station for the last time after what officials described as a stressful 48-hour shift.
Yeah, it was 100% unexpected. Rick was a big, strong, healthy guy, and you never anticipate someone as young as him, 29 years old, passing away.
The fire department says that there are too many unknowns to say if his death was related to the job.
He's gone, and we still don't necessarily know why, because we don't have any real solid proof or facts on why.
The questions remain. The department is studying and updating their health and wellness programs to do what they can to avoid this type of situation in the future.
We've put out an RFP to look at a validation study to make sure that proactively we're staying ahead of our fitness levels in the department.
Back at Station 10, what Garner left behind will be there forever.
His legacy and what he's contributed to not only this department, but the city is going to be felt for a very long time.
For News 3, I'm Chris Lewinberg.
Officials say the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health will also look into Rick's case.
There's an effort in southwest Wisconsin to save more lives, all in the name of a 9-month-old boy named Cayman. Matt and Courtney Brigman describe their son as a, quote, stinker, a smiler. Most of all, after 2 older sisters, he was the final addition that made their family complete. When Cayman was just 9 months old, though, he choked on a bouncy ball. Mom and Dad couldn't get it out of his mouth, and first responders couldn't either. After he was med-flighted to Madison, Cayman Brigman was declared brain dead.
And there's times like I've came across his baby book and it just stops at 9 months, you know, and it's like, oh, what'd you do for your first birthday? What'd you do for your second birthday? And it's like, I can't write anything because he wasn't here.
It's been 2 years since the Brigmans said goodbye to their baby boy, but they're trying to help make sure no other parent loses a child the way they did by pushing to get a life vac in every ambulance in the area. It's a simple tool that can help suction out something that might get stuck. We're going to tell you more about the Brigmans' journey and why they're the first to fight for a life vac in every state ambulance in the state. That's tonight, News 3 at 10.
We're in for a bit of a rainy evening and a rainy start to our election day. There is an alert day in the forecast for Tuesday. We'll take a closer look at the timing for the showers tomorrow, coming up right after the break.
All right, as we heard earlier, Dana talk about the issues with some weather tomorrow. Now let's get more details.
We are going to look at some shower chances continuing with us overnight and into tomorrow. What we're seeing right now will be the start of our Tuesday as well. These showers sliding in just in the last few hours. Some heavier rainfall for parts of Dane County right now, but our rainfall totals are still staying fairly minimal for the southeastern corner of the state. The totals a little higher off to the west, close to about 1.5 inches for parts of the area, but not much more. Not a whole washout for us this evening. Temperature-wise, it's cool outside. We're at 45 in Madison and 46 in Janesville right now. Not a big cool down for us overnight, though, because it is so cloudy outside. A bit of a breeze right now as well, coming from the southeast at 14 miles per hour in Madison and 10 for Lone Rock and Mineral Point. After a gusty afternoon, our wind gusts peaking in the 20s today. We're looking at a gusty day for Tuesday as well. That system that brought the rain yesterday now well to the northeast. It gave us a little bit of a break here today. We had a cloudy sky before the next system slid right on in. So that's what we're dealing with now. Showers pulling in from low pressure off of the edge of Iowa. It's going to continue to push rain in overnight and then for tomorrow morning as well. But the showers will taper off throughout the day on Tuesday. That's the good news. So do plan on hearing the rainfall throughout the rest of the evening. It's kind of nice to fall asleep too. Overnight will stay cloudy. By tomorrow morning, we still have showers, some heavier rain at times, but overall a light rain event for us. By noon, though, things tapering off already. A few isolated spots still lingering. A cloudy sky as we head into Wednesday. But the showers are out of here for us for Wednesday overall. Because of those shower chances and the fact it's going to be so windy outside tomorrow afternoon, those gusts up to 30 miles per hour, we do have an alert day in the forecast for Tuesday. The showers will be diminishing, but a lot of people will be out on the road, so we want to make sure that you stay careful. So do keep the weather in mind tomorrow. We have a little bit of water on the camera for us looking downtown. It is raining right now. Temperature-wise, we are right at average today. 50 degrees are high, even as our morning low is fairly close to where we should be in the low 30s. Overnight tonight will fall into the low 40s, so just dropping a few more degrees from where we're at right now. Tomorrow, because it's going to be so cloudy, temperatures barely getting into the mid 40s. Again, those showers will be ending for us throughout the morning, but we will stay cloudy even into the afternoon. Plan on tomorrow being the warmest day of the week by far. As we head towards the weekend, our temps are going to drop quite a bit. We're in for a cold blast of air by the end of the week and into the weekend for us. Rain chances that we're going to hold off as we get to the middle of the week until we get closer to Friday and Saturday.
Well, mistakes and injuries plaguing the Packers in the loss to the Patriots yesterday. So was this really the battle of the GOATs? That story next in sports. Well, last night's Packers-Patriots game had the best overnight rating for a Week 9 NFL game in 13 years. But was the Battle of the GOATs really everything that we expected? Sort of, I guess, at least until the third quarter, because while the QBs obviously played a huge role in the game, other factors did as well, because obviously football is a team sport. The Packers and Patriots were tied until the fourth, Aaron Jones fumbling the ball on the very first play of the quarter and New England scoring on that drive, and that seemed to put some extra fire under the Patriots. 31-17 the final score, and the Packers secondary yet again. So here's some food for thought. The Packers in their last 10 games started by Rodgers, a record of 3-6-1. The Packers in 10 games with Brett Hundley last year, a 3-7 record. So they're just a half game better with Rodgers under center. Check out the NFC North standings now. They're okay. Packers have 8 games left, still a good chunk of time left in the season. We'll hear from head coach Mike McCarthy later on tonight at 10. Level 4 playoffs in WIA football this week, and the winners go to Camp Randall. We've got 4 teams from our area representing on Friday. By the way, these games all at neutral sites, so a little bit of travel will be involved. Want to keep looking for a return trip to Camp Randall? The defending Division II state champs will play Brookfield Central at Oconomowoc, and Lakeside Lutheran and Racine St. Catherine will face off at Waukesha North High School. Division VI Lancaster will face Racine Lutheran at Elkhorn Area High School. And lastly, Blackhawk will aim to move to 12-0 this season against Bangor. Those 2 teams play at Middleton. Well, as expected, Alex Hornibrook listed as questionable ahead of Saturday's game at Penn State. Head coach Paul Chryst said today that he is undergoing a concussion protocol. So Jack Cohn could be getting ready for his second career start in a Wisconsin uniform. He played the entire game at Northwestern 2 weeks ago and about half of the game this past Saturday. Coach Chryst optimistic about Cohn's progress. He's passed for 222 yards and 2 touchdowns so far, and says he'll keep on getting better.
A little bit unique about the quarterback spot maybe is how can your play help others around you, and I've liked the way that Jack is prepared all year long, really, and so if Alex can't go, then he'll certainly be ready.
The Badgers men's basketball team opens its regular season tomorrow, hosting Coppin State at the Kohl Center. Coppin State, by the way, coached by former Maryland point guard Juan Dixon, and the Eagles are part of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. Greg Gard and the Badgers will be happy to have a healthy team with Kobe King back, hoping to be in regular season form. He missed most of last season with a knee injury. And Dimitri Trice, who says he is at full strength, and of course, Brad Davison, who had surgery on his shoulder in the offseason. Tip-off against Coppin State tomorrow night at 7.
American, Asiago, Borscapone, Buffalo, smoked Swiss cream cheese.
She is the GOAT. She is really the greatest of all time. At yesterday's Bucks game, she was challenged to name as many kinds of cheese that she could in 30 seconds. I mean, come on, please. This is Wisconsin. So she named a casual 27 different kinds in 30 seconds. No big deal. Obviously, while wearing a cheese head and holding her child at the same time, because she is clearly multi-talented.
It's a multitasking mom.
Yes.
Winner.
I love her. I watched this so many times. It's so great.
It was impressive.
Excellent work.
I liked it. It might be a good idea to have your cheese, your dinner inside tomorrow. That'd be a good idea. We're talking about rain. We do have an alert day in the forecast, guys. It is election day because of the shower chances in the morning and the wind gusts coming through. That's why we have the alert day in effect. The good news, the showers will be wrapping on up, but then we cool down quite a bit. We're looking at a chilly into the week and weekend. We'll be talking about light snow chances towards the end of the week as well.
All right, Dana, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 at 6.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.